Yo! Hey! This thing's finished. I spent only a couple of months on it, I reckon. And most of it was cosmetic, luckily. I didn't have to do a hell of a lot. It was basically just a major service and she's off and running. All the front brake system taken apart and rebuilt, cleaned, that's perfect. Cosmetic stuff like this fake chrome, it was a bit tarnished, but it's a lot better than it was. Oil and filter for the motor. Check the rear shoes and everything and the drum brake, that's perfect. Again, cosmetic up the back. These little dots from that brake master cylinder leaking at some point, I think. But that's okay. So she's pretty much done. It really only needed a major service. The only big thing I had to do was fix the rust that was sitting in here. Hopefully you can see it. There was a big pile of, hey puppy! There was a big pile of rust in here. All here was all rusted. And I sanded it back, treated the metal, primed it and painted it. That's come up good. I did the same to the other side. I didn't really have to do the other side, but I wanted it to look pretty even. So it's done. I think I invested, I put in about 8 mid to high 8s on this. Bought for $500. Quick story, so bought this thing, had it for $1,000, and I offered him $500. Not really thinking he'd accept it, but you know, you got to start somewhere. And he went with 800. I said, no, look, I think I'll stick at 5 because I don't know anything about it. I have to buy it sight unseen. And he went, all right, no worries. I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to have to come and, silly window, I'm going to have to come and actually buy it. I made an offer, stick to my word, and I bought it, and it turned out okay. It needed a lot of carby. The carby needed to be cleaned out. Carby needed to be cleaned out, but now she's a goer. It's still a bit iffy, but I'll just start it, and we'll just switch over to this camera. Started this morning, so it might start easier than it normally does. Perfect. So, that's her. There's a bit of a rattle in the back here. Like you'll hear it. That's all just this. I need to really, I need to assess that, but that should be fine. But yeah, has that little front. It might, now that I'm looking at it, it might actually need a new rectifier. Because that front headlight's pulsing. That front headlight's pulsing a little bit. You might be able to see it. So I put a new battery in it as well. That was about $70. And she's just great. I really like it. And it'd be hard to let it go. I've looked up what they're worth, and the low K ones, people are asking pretty serious money for them, like $3.5 grand for a little 225 Yamaha. I was quite surprised what people actually wanted for them. As I said, I've got about $800 in this. I don't think I'd want to let it go for less than 2. I reckon 2's pretty reasonable. I don't know. You know, it's just one of those things that you buy it and you can just keep it and leave it there, and it's not going to hurt anyone. Just sitting there, eh? So, yeah. Oh, and I got some mirrors for it as well. I know they're super derpy mirrors, but it'll keep me compliant if I want to get a roadworthy on it. I'll see you on the next one now that this one's finished.